Do you believe that God died on a cross for your sin?
Mm-hmm.
Do you?
I said yeah.
Loud and clear. Come on, loud and clear. Give me a yes.
I said yes.
Okay, great. So thank you for answering the question that God did truly die on the cross for your sin. I would love to know how many God died on the cross for your sin.
Perfect. I love that question. Really quickly, can I ask a clarifying question to the definition you're using of God?
I am using the definition of God, whoever you identify, bearer of the divine nature that instantiates divine properties.
Okay, so any entity that bears the divine nature is God.
Any entity that bears the divine nature that you call God.
Okay, so the divine nature. Okay, so if you're
No,
asking,
no, 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 no. Please don't isolate the divine nature and speak of it in isolation.
no,
Do
I
not
said
speak of
entity.
the divine nature. Okay, that's fine. So the divine nature is being bared by a being
An
that you
entity.
call God,
Yeah,
correct?
an entity.
Okay, how many God died on the cross for your sin?
Yeah, so you're using the word God in the predicative sense, so in reference to the,
We just defined it, my friend. We just went through it. Now, just like how you answered the
yeah,
question that God truly did die on the cross, I would like to know how many God died on the
hmm
cross.
yeah.
Wa
So
alaikum salam.
so when I say predicatively, it's exactly what you said. So it means the same thing, right? So let's just assert that
I
first of
just
all.
need a numerical value. I just want a numerical value. So if God
Hmm
died, how many God died? What number would you give
Yeah,
me?
there is one entity that has the divine nature that died.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. So one God died.
Once again, there's one entity that is God
Can you
that
can
died.
you speak of your doctrine with your chest out, please? So
I did.
one entity died. So therefore, is the conclusion one God died?
Yeah,
So why don't you say it? Why are you ashamed to tell me that?
I
Just say it.
I did say it. I just said it right now.
Okay, go ahead, say it. One God died on the cross. Go on.
Yeah, God died on the cross. Yeah,
No, no,
that's
no.
true.
Say it. Say it. Be a man. Say it. Go ahead.
Yeah, God died on the cross. What's the issue with that?
No, 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 no. Say one God died on the cross.
Yeah, the one God died on the cross. Yeah,
There we go, guys. One God died on the cross. Now,
great.
because and I'm guessing you believe in one God, right? You don't believe in multiple gods.
Yeah.
Okay, so because you believe in one God, now tell me if this is correct. Okay, am I speaking of your concept of God correctly here? Because you believe in one God, therefore, any God that did not die on the cross would be a false God, nothing to do with you and nothing to do with your religion, because you believe in one God and your one God died on the cross.
Yeah. So when I say I believe in one God, I'm referencing one being.
Wonderful. God
Yeah.
is a being, bearer of the divine nature that instantiate properties of the
Yeah.
divine nature.
Which is distinct
No
from
problem.
entity.
Sorry?
Which is distinct from entity when describing the
That's
death of Jesus.
that's fine. That's fine. But as long as you know, we are making this is in reference to
No, it's
God.
different. We're using
Okay?
the word God differently here.
What do you mean? I just told you how we're
Yeah.
using the word God.
Like,
You
do you want me
you
to
said you have no
explain?
problem.
Do you want me to explain my worldview, or do you want to keep cutting me off when I'm trying to explain?
There is no need for your explanation of a worldview when
Oh,
I'm
there
just
actually is.
simply speaking. So, do you have, like, can you identify your God? Can you just summarize?
Yeah.
Can you give me a metaphysics framework of your God, please?
Yeah, for sure. I will. Can I like explain it fully?
No, just summarize it.
Okay, for
No
summary,
need for extended speeches and sentences. Just summarize. Who is your one God under metaphysics?
for sure. So I believe that there is one divine substance that three persons subsist in. Each person is going to be identified as a first person perspective under an aspectival view of metaphysics. So each person is an aspect of the trope of divinity. We believe that there is one God nominally who is the Father, and there is Jesus and the Holy Spirit who are also God predicatively along with the Father.
Thank you for just spewing your creedal confessions on what you believe. That doesn't tell me anything.
Okay.
You're just reiterating what you believe.
You
You're
could
not
ask
giving
me
me
to
a
tell you what I
metaphysical
believe.
framework as to how your God is one here,
Did you
and
not
who your God
just
is, and
ask
how
me?
you're coming to the conclusion, how you're identifying God as the divine being that you call God. You're not giving me the metaphysical description here. All you did just there was just define to me who your God is according to your Trinitarian creed.
No,
That's all
I
you
I
did.
actually gave you a
But
metaphysical
anyways,
worldview.
okay, so let's break this down, okay? God is a being. Do you agree?
When we say God, it can refer to multiple different things. So yeah, you can refer to God as the being.
Wait, you can refer to God as multiple different things?
Yeah, the word God can be referred to multiple different things. It's not a rigid
Okay,
designator.
okay, go ahead and give me the metaphysical framework for that.
Yeah, so like we could say God in a nominal sense, and that someone holds the title of being God by name. And we could also say God in the predicative sense, in which an entity possesses all of the divine attributes. So you could say God in those two distinct ways. You could also say God in reference to just divinity or the substance or the essence.
Okay, is God defined as the absolute perfect being?
Hmm. In one
And an
respect,
absolute,
yes.
so is, what do you mean in one respect? Is in another respect God
Like
is
I
not an
just
absolute,
said, you
is
can
God in
refer to
another respect
God in
not an
multiple
absolute
different
perfect being?
ways.
Is God not perfect in another sense?
No, that's not what I said. I said in one
Okay.
respect, you can refer to God as
Uh,
an ultimately perfect
can you
being.
speak?
You
Can
can
you speak
also,
consistent language? Hello. Can you speak consistent language, please?
I am.
Is God defined as the absolute perfect being? Yes or no?
In one respect, it is. Yeah, you
No,
can
no,
use
no,
God
no,
in
no.
that
So
respect.
in another respect, God is not a perfectly divine,
No,
perfect being.
that's called a false dichotomy right there.
Um, how is that a false dichotomy?
Because you're saying it's either the case that God is defined as an ultimately perfect being, and if it's not the case that he is, or there's another option, then that other option must be that he's not, or the opposite of that. That's just not the case. That's called a
Well,
false dichotomy.
okay. So can you give me a metaphysical framework how that is a
Yeah,
false dichotomy?
yeah. The metaphysical framework, that being a false dichotomy, doesn't make sense. A false dichotomy is a fallacy.
Yeah,
A metaphysical
then
framework is about ontology.
I don't think you know what you're talking about here. You're defining God as not absolutely perfect in another
I
sense.
didn't say that. When
You,
did I say that in this conversation?
okay, so what's the conclusion? If God is defined as absolutely perfect, is there any
Okay.
way that God is not perfect?
Can you use word in reference to different things?
Is God a perfectly absolute perfect being?
Yes, you can define God in that way.
Okay, so is God not a perfectly divine, perfect being in any sense?
Dude, you can use the word God in reference to like an angel or something.
Is God a not a perfectly divine being in any sense? Can you answer that direct question, please?
In any sense, yeah, you could say that in reference to like an angel or an Elohim.